Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to touch on this topic of Boogie2988 and the whole arrest warrant, him being booked into Washington County Jail, and just the whole situation that has happened since September of last year. There's been a few other people that touched base on this. Shady J, for example, just made a video that came out today about it, and I've kind of been a little on the fence in regards to whether I wanted to talk about this or not. Now, I personally hold Boogie2988 in a great light as far as a friendship goes. He's one of my good friends. I met him probably at the second Retropalooza 2 or 3, when he was a guest for the first time out there. And since then, we've kept in touch, and he's actually been a very good person to me in regards to several things. In fact, one of my most fondest memories of Boogie just happened a couple years ago at Game On in Phoenix. Charles Martine was there as a guest. He was, the voice of Mario. And I wanted to go and say hi and meet him and take a photo with him, a photo op. But it was like $60 or so to do a photo op, maybe even a little bit more, to meet Charles Martine. And at the time, I was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't exactly have the funds to do it. Didn't really mention it. I was just like, yeah, that would be so cool to meet Charles Martine. And I was just sitting there, and Boogie was just like, you know what? Here you go, man. He gave me the money. I was like, no, dude. And he goes, no, I insist. And it was around his birthday as well. He's I believe, August birthday, somewhere around there. I'm July. And he goes, nothing would make me more happy for my birthday than bringing you a gift of joy and getting to meet Mario. And I was like, wow, I was absolutely floored and thankful for that. So I would never, ever forget that gesture that he did for me. On top of that, just being all around funny, hilarious guy. He's always roasted me in a playful manner every time we meet up, whatever. So definitely throughout the years has proven to me to be a genuine friend and a genuine good guy. So this situation, people have been talking about it. It's been trending like literally on the internet. Like every single major media and news publication, Newsweek, different Fox affiliates, huge news media websites are covering the situation, because about a year ago, Boogie was actually in a situation with another gentleman by the name of Frank Hassel, I believe. They were kind of like an exchange of sorts online. And I've been there. We've all been there. If you're a public figure that makes a YouTube channel, we've all been there, where we have some kind of engagement or interactions with people that just don't like you, that don't get along with you, that for whatever reason have a negative opinion about you, whether it's warranted or not. That's a whole different discussion there. But this situation got to the point where it was becoming harassment beyond just a computer screen. It's one thing to not like somebody's content, to be like, hey, I think your videos are boring. They could use a lot of better editing, just any kind of constructive criticism, or any kind of criticism, period. Leave it to the person's content. But when it starts getting beyond that, when it starts getting to real life harassment, phone calls, doxing, showing up at people's actual houses, that's where the lines start to get a little bit blurred and crossed. So basically what happened back then was this gentleman, Frank, showed up at Boogie's house. And Boogie told him ahead of time. We all know the situation. Boogie was warning him, hey, if you come to my house, I will defend myself. I will take necessary action to make sure that I am safe, and that, whoever's at his house is safe. So that whole situation was a mess. I'm sure you've seen the video of him opening the door and telling the guy to leave, and the guy saying, what, are you going to kill me? And then Boogie fired a warning shot. Now, I have a concealed handgun license in the state of Texas. I know all about gun safety and gun laws and all that. So I fully support the Second Amendment. Now, I know you might have different political beliefs about that, whatnot. I believe in the right to defend yourself. if your life is in danger. Now, was Boogie's life in danger in this situation? You honestly can't really speak for him if you weren't there. If you're not Boogie, you know, you could say Frank didn't have a weapon. You could say Frank knocked on the door and there's nothing illegal with ringing somebody's doorbell, that Boogie chose to open the front door, that Boogie chose to have the gun in his hand. You could say all those arguments, but at the end of the day, if you were in Boogie's position, if somebody that was harassing you on a regular basis showed up to your house and knocked on your door, would you know if they had a gun or a knife or some kind of weapon, any kind of like malicious intent to harm you physically? You honestly wouldn't know. Now, you could say all this was just internet talk, that Boogie should have just taken it a little bit more less serious. But when you're constantly, and this is just a blanket statement, not Boogie specifically, when you're constantly under a microscope of a lot of anonymous people that harass you, that dox you, that go out of their way to try to ruin your life, when one of them shows up to your house uninvited, that's a problem, and you don't know what could go on. So I'm going to say, as far as whether I want to give Boogie a benefit of a doubt or not in this situation, that I side with him completely in that you didn't know what would happen, that he didn't know if there was a weapon or not. And he told them repeatedly, go away, leading up to it. If you come in and you show up, I will defend myself. So he had his warnings. Sure, Boogie took the time to load the gun and he was telling him, hey, you better leave. And, you know, the whole thing was recorded, and the fire shot. Yeah, I could see where this would get you in trouble, firing the shot. But in the heat of the moment, in the heat of the situation where you don't know what is going to go on, you know what I mean? That is where it's at. So I'm not an attorney. I'm not a criminal defense attorney. I'm not a lawyer. My older brother is, and he actually discussed this situation with me not long ago. And I don't know what the charges could be as far as that goes. So we're going to read this article. This is actually from KNWA Fox 24. And we're going to look at this. So popular YouTuber Boogie2988 booked into the Washington County Jail. So this is Fayetteville, Arkansas. So Stephen J. Williams, popular video game YouTuber, better known to fans as Boogie2988, has been booked into the Washington County Jail after reportedly firing a warning shot at a man who showed up at his door in Fayetteville in September. So according to Washington County Sheriff's Office website, Williams' warrant is for aggravated assault. He was booked in yesterday in the morning on Wednesday. He's currently being held on a $5,000 bond. Court date scheduled for May 28th. So he was bonded out by 10:40. So he was only in there for a couple hours. Now, the felony information court document said the defendant knowingly and under circumstances manifested extreme indifference to the value of human life, purposely displays a firearm in such a manner that creates a substantial danger of death or serious physical injury. So that's a fancy way of saying he fired a warning shot in an area where he shouldn't have. Now, again, hindsight's 2020. We're all going to say he shouldn't have fired the warning shot. Maybe he shouldn't even had the gun loaded. Maybe he should have just had, you know, the gun not pointed. Because I was taught if you aren't intending to shoot at the object you're aiming the gun at, don't aim it at it. He could have just had the gun to the side and said, look, man, step off. I'm warning you. But hindsight's 2020. Again, I'm mostly sticking with Boogie on this because you don't know what could have happened. He could have opened the door and got shot himself by this gentleman in question. So continuing this article, the documents continue to say the defendant discharged a firearm into a residential neighborhood, thereby manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life and creating a substantial danger of death, of physical injury against the peace and dignity of the state of Arkansas. So I don't know Arkansas law, but yeah, this is basically them saying, you know, you shouldn't have fired the warning shot. Now, I don't know if Frank pursued legal action towards Boogie for this situation, if he was the one pressing charges, or if this is the state of Arkansas doing it, it could be the state of Arkansas or Fayetteville government. Now, I do know that Boogie has posted, and they're actually showing his post right here. Just want to say thank you to those who supported me at one time or another over the years. Bigger thank you to those who support me still now and what's going on. Thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again very soon. This has nothing to do with suicide or anything for those who might think that. Just logging off social for a few days to resolve all that cop stuff. And that is understandable. This is going to be a situation that Boogie, Frank, and those involved are going to have to deal with. And Boogie's in good spirits. In fact, he actually kind of laughed about this photo they used from an old driver license of him. They're like, man, you know, my mugshot looks a lot better. And I gotta say, Boogie, all things aside, man, you actually look, well, besides tired, you actually look pretty good in your mugshot. I gotta give you some props on that, dude. But yeah, this situation is just a chaotic mess. We all would have been in there in the heat of the moment. I probably would have did the same thing, if I'm going to be completely honest. I definitely would have at least had a gun ready at hand to protect myself. If there was somebody that went to the extent of this Frank guy, the extent of targeted harassment that this Frank guy went, you know, he went above and beyond against Boogie. So, you know, I don't want to get too much into the details of the history and the lore and the backstory of that. Again, as a public figure, it happens. It comes with the territory. Whether you're big or small, you're going to have people that are just insane fucking lunatics. And this was a situation that could have gone a lot worse. And I'm glad, for the sake of everybody involved, that it didn't. I'm glad that Boogie is safe and he's okay and he turned himself in. He will fix this. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm sure he'll be able to go through the court swiftly and promptly, and he'll probably, you know, cooperate. Honestly, he didn't do anything wrong in my book. The mistake was just firing the warning shot, which I would have done the same thing as well. So this is just a word to those out there that want to be funny and cute and prank people. Don't show up to people's houses uninvited. Don't show up trying to incite or elevate a situation of harassment. Critique the content, hate the person, keep it online. Don't try to evade privacy. Don't try to dox. Don't try to do any of that crap. Because you never know. If this had been two other people, maybe somebody could have lost their life. So I side with Boogie on the fact that I probably would have did the same thing, because you never know. I'm not going to take chances. You either get got or I get got. So I just want to give my thoughts about it, guys. Let's have a conversation in the comments down below. Please keep it civil. I don't want to see any dickwads or assholes in the comments trying to pull, you know, some real rude, insensitive comments. Let's talk about it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you on the next one, guys. Thank you.